Hello and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Friday the 12th of February 2021. I should say Happy Chinese New Year. It's fairly quiet here in Bangkok except for my neighbours. A lot of businesses are closed, not all. But it's not a very happy Chinese New Year for the news. Devastating news for jazz fans. The only item of news that I care about today is that Chick Corea has died aged 79. Apparently, some form of cancer that has come on very recently. I mean, just recently he's been doing this series of jazz education on video with his jazz academy. Chick Corea, one of the greatest musicians that has ever lived, I have to say, for I can't even count the number of years, but beginning with, well, even before he joined the Miles Davis group, he was already well known. And then, of course, after joining Miles Davis and leaving and becoming a solo artist later on, and just played with every great jazz musician, and of course, the piano duets with Herbie Hancock. I mean, it just is endless. You could just name any great jazz musician of the 20th and 21st centuries, that were alive in his period, and he has played with them, and they will tell you that he was just one of the greatest musicians, most inventive geniuses on the keyboard. It's really terrible news, and for me personally, I just was even playing, by coincidence, I just was playing a couple of his albums yesterday, and woke up this morning to see this news, and it's terrible. So that's the news for today. It's a hard day, and apparently we have a hard level Sudoku. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through this today, but anyway. Okay, so let's begin our Sudoku puzzle and see what we can see. Okay, first thing that catches my eye is this 2 in this column, and the 2 in this column blocking other squares except for 2 here, so we know that's going to be a 2. In this column, which has quite a lot of numbers in it already, you can see there's a 4 blocking this square and a 4 blocking this square, leaving that location only as a 4. Presumably you know the rules of Sudoku by now. If not, very quickly, each of these boxes in bold line, dark line, must contain numbers 1 to 9. Each column must contain 1 to 9. Each row must contain 1 to 9. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the 2 missing numbers are 7 and 8 in this column, and 7 actually blocks this number from being a 7 here. This 7 in this row excludes any other squares from being 7. Should that be precludes? Never mind. I'm not having a good day today. This 8 down in this column and this 8 across here means that that is going to be an 8 there. There's a 4 across here, 4 in this row, 4 in this row, means 4 will have to appear up here like so. This 8 in this row here means that these 2 squares can't be, neither of these 2 squares can be 8, and so an 8 will appear here. there are 2 numbers left. What are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. So let's fill in 5 and 7 here as our candidates. If you're not sure what candidate is, it just means potential number. In this case, you know, it's either a 5 or a 7 in either of those 2 squares. As we go through, considering this is supposed to be a hard level, you will see hopefully how these will help you later on. Okay. This 9. Okay, there are 9s blocking. There's a 9 in this row blocking this row. There's a 9 blocking this row. There's a 9 in this column. So only the upper left square of the grid can be a 9. So we'll fill that in. There's 3 in this column, 3 in this column down, 3 across this row here, like so. Means only one location possible for a 3. It's got to go there. And when we extend the 3 across this row and the 3 across this row, 3 down here, 3 has to appear here, like so. Well, you know, I usually try to put in candidates when I really need to, so I'm still looking around for any that I can find without filling in candidates just yet. If I can do that, then I will. For example, I can see that there's a 5 in this column here, right? So this square is not going to be a 5 in this segment. Also up here, so because okay, hold on a second. What am I doing here? 5 blocks this square here, right? There's a 5 in this row, meaning 5 can't appear here, right? So we've got a 5 in this segment already, so there's no 5 in any of these 3 squares. The 5 cannot appear here in this square because of this pair of 5s here, and there is a 5 blocking this square. So in this segment, the only available square for a 5 is here. Did you get that? 5 can't appear in these 3 squares because of this 5. 5 can't appear here, so that leaves only these 2 and this 5 blocks there. So we can fill in the 5 there. There are no doubt other ways to describe that. Sudoku has you know, lots of different methods that you can use very often. This 3 that we've just filled in, if we bring it down now into this column, and we have a 3 in this column also, so we are blocking here and blocking here. Only one place the 3 can go now, that's there. When we take that 3 across here, this row, and a 3 across this row, like so, we'll see 3 could appear here or here, but we have an intersecting 3 down here, like that. And so 3 must be here. 4 across the middle here. You know, 2 ways to look. Okay, just to show you that there's more than one way of looking at this thing. You could just consider there's a 4 across this row and a 4 across this row, meaning 4 has to appear here. Or you could say there's a 4 in this segment already, meaning this square and this square can't be 4, and there's a 4 in this segment already, meaning 4 can't be there, so 4 must appear here. You know, very often more than one way to look at it. For me, I always try and find what I think are the easiest ways to find these things. We should be able to find out what the missing number here is, because we can see that these two have to be 7 and 9. How do we know that? Okay, 7 and 9 are in this segment here, meaning 7 and 9 are lacking from this row. 7 and 9 are both in this segment, so 7 and 9 have to appear here. Are there any intersecting 7s and 9s? No, there aren't, so we'll fill them in as candidates. But now that we've done that, we can find the missing number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's an 8. And so we can put our 8 in here like so. As an alternative, of course, you just put the 8s, 8 in this row, 8 in this row, meaning 8 has to appear there. As I've said, many ways to solve Sudoku. And we can see that that's going to be an 8 because 8 can't be here, 8 can't be here, 8 can't be here, right? In this column, right? 8 eliminates that, that eliminates that, 8 eliminates that. 8 will have to appear up here, like so. 7 has to be here now. Why? Because we have a pair of 7s blocking this row here, and we have 7 in this column blocking this column here. So blocked and blocked. Only one location a 7 can go. We also know now that 7 here blocks this row, 7 blocks this row, and 7 from this column blocks this square. So in the top row, 7 has to appear there. There are two numbers missing from this top row, and they are 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 are missing. We have an intersecting 6 down here from this column, and so 6 will appear here and 5 will go there. 7 in this segment, there's a 7 in this column, 7 in this column, leaving that as the sole place a 7 can go. And there are lots of 7s around. We can actually follow them around. So look, 7 here, 7 here, 7 here, 7 here. 7 is going to appear there, as there are intersecting 7s all around. In this column here, what numbers are missing? We have 1, we don't have a 2, 3, 4, 5, we don't have a 6. So 2 and 6 are missing, but guess what? A 2 blocks this square from being a 2. This blocks this square from being a 2, so 2 will appear here. 6 must appear here. There are only 2 squares here now missing. We can find out what they are. Missing numbers are 1 and 6. Any intersecting 1s or 6s? No. So we'll fill that in as a pair of candidates, and then we'll find this number. 1, 2 is missing number, so let's put that in. Now we only have 2 missing numbers here. What are they? 1 and 5, I believe. Now we do actually have an intersecting 5 because we have this pair of 5 and 7 here, so 5 can't come here. 5 will be here and 1 will be there. There is only 1 number missing here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is our missing number in that row, so let's fill it in. Okay, when we bring 6 in this column up, 6 in this column down, 6 in this row across, we'll see 6 has to appear here like so. That's going to be a 6. Why? Because from this remaining grid, we have a pair of 7 and 9, so 6 is going to appear in this, either of these 2 squares, right? We don't know which one yet, but it's going to appear here. So this will block this column from being a 6, and we have an intersecting 6 in this row and this row, meaning 6 must appear here. Okay, how else are we doing? The 2 missing numbers here are 1 and 2, I believe. Okay, we don't have any intersecting numbers, so we'll fill in candidates 1 and 2, like so. Okay, 5 here, because we have a 5 in this row blocking, 5 in this row blocking, so not here, not here, not here. Also this 5 intersecting blocks this column, so 5 will appear here, like so. There's only one number missing from this column now, which is a 1, so we can fill that in. Remember our pair of 1 or 6 here, 1 is now there, 6 is there, of course. And now we know that this is a 6. Remember we had a pair. 6 had to appear either here or here. The other missing number here now is a 5, I believe. When we take that up, 5 or 7, 5 there, 7 there. In this segment we don't have a 5 yet, so it has to appear here because it's blocked from this row. 9 is our last number. Okay, now you see we have 2 squares missing here, and it says 1 or 2 here, so we know that this has to be 1 or 2 also, right? Logically, if there are only 2 squares missing and only 2 numbers. But we can see that the 1 is blocking this square here, so 1 has to appear in that square, and 2 has to appear here. And of course 2 will be that number there. There are 2 numbers missing in this segment. What are they? 1, 2 we don't have, and 8 we don't have. But immediately we can see that this 2 blocks this square, so that's our 2 and that's our 8. When we bring this 8 across this row and 8 across this row and 8 down this column, we can see that 8 is going here. Okay, there are 3 numbers missing in this column here, or this segment, same thing. What are they? 1, 4, and 9 are missing. 1, 4, and 9 are missing. Well, those are actually on different... we do have 1, 4, and 9. They're missing in different... If we had 4 and a 9 on the same row, that would be useful. We would see it. Okay, so 1 is a pair here, 4 is a pair, 4 is a pair here, and 9 is a pair here and here, like so. This 7, let's bring this 7 down. We had a pair of 7 or 9 here now, so clearly that 7 can no longer remain in place, leaving us with just a 9. That's our 7 here now. There is only one number missing here. 1, 2, 3, it's a 4. We don't have a 4 in this column, and so we can fill it in, and when we do that we had our pair of 4 or 9, so we can see that that has to be a 9. And now we've got our 9, that has to be a 1, and that has to be a 4. There are only 2 numbers left. We can see 1 is lacking here, and 1 blocks this number here. And the final number is 9. And so that's our quotes hard level Sudoku puzzle for today. On the day, to quote from that song American Pie, or was it called American Pie? But you know, that line, the day the music died, which was originally about Buddy Holly, I know, but for me personally, Korea represents so much of music, and yeah, it really is a sad day. And so let's hope the rest of the Chinese New Year is much happier. And that's it, and I'll see you again in this next day of Chinese New Year, which is more than a day, right? It's a few days of festivities. I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.